Will and Lou have turned a corner. Carlton is getting sucked in deeper with Amira. And Geoffrey might have just freed himself from the debts of the past. What's good, y'all? She gets this Erica Bain coming to you right here on Erica Bain TV with another Bel Air video. And in this one, we're breaking down season 3, episode number 6. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn your bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my Bel Air content and conversations. And if you're not new, welcome back, boo. You know how we do. Honestly, y'all, I don't even know where to begin when it comes to breaking down this episode. Specifically, this bout, I'm really struggling with Bel Air, with Peacock releasing Bel Air in bouts of 3. So when the season premiere, they dropped 3 episodes. I'm like, okay, season premiere, okay, cool. That really reset the board and cleared the field. But then these other 3 episodes, I'm like, I really needed y'all to parse these out with 1 episode each week because it's just so much to take in. And every last one of them have been masterful. I'm sitting here talking about episode 6, but episode 5 was brilliant. Episode 4, brilliant. For various reasons, with various characters and various storylines. But the overarching thing that I'm picking up on is healing. Yes, conversations around trauma, specifically Black trauma, whether it's within the community or within families. But ultimately, there has been so much healing happening. The conversation that Will gets to have with his mom and his dad, I just sat with my mouth agape for so much of it, in shock, in awe, in excitement, in confusion. And I feel like the confusion part comes from not necessarily that I don't believe it's possible for this to happen, but it's just so amazing to see visually. I guess awe is the best way to put it. I'm in awe of the healing conversations. I'm in awe of the way they have rolled out the story. And specifically for this episode, shout out to Morgan Cooper because he directed it, and it's this feels like a treat. I low-key wish it wasn't a streaming moment so that it could be a television moment. This is a Shonda Rhimes Thursday night type thing. Okay, let me focus. Because I honestly, y'all, I'm just really, really, really in awe. I can only imagine the amount of healing that's happened for people who are in more closely related circumstances to what we're seeing these characters in, whether it's Will with the absentee daddy and a mama who talks about the daddy, or if it's someone like Carlton who is in a romantic relationship at a very tumultuous time with a very addictive person who also has an addictive personality. Or Phil trying to do what's right, what he believes to be what's right, but still putting himself in a compromising position that is going to stress or strain his life. Just again, on all sides. Geoffrey, 100% willing to take the sacrifice and do what he has to do for his family, even though I am a little bit perplexed because we don't have a ton of depth about who the hell Roman is. We know that Geoffrey took out the head of some British drug organization or criminal organization. And basically in this episode, they confirmed that he needs to pay the price or pay his debt to that in reference to coming back to the organization, or they were going to take their vengeance out on Frederick. But I partly feel like I want to know more. I spent a lot of time specifically watching the Geoffrey and Roman interactions and wondering is this Geoffrey's dad? He never called him dad, but I was wondering, is this Geoffrey's dad? And then Roman, you were supposed to take care of his family while he was gone. You wind up going in jail, and now you're working for the enemy. How that happen? Or you just continue to work for the same organization? But you know that you still owe Geoffrey because you dropped the ball and got caught. By the end of the episode, it's fine. Geoffrey wound up paying all his life savings to him, and Roman's gonna figure out how to make that be enough. Because what Geoffrey say, make it enough. But I kind of wanted a little bit more there. So if there's any like critique or criticism, I would probably say of like, I kind of wish I had more clarity there. But I'm perfectly fine with that storyline wrapping up. Does this mean that Penelope gets to leave and he can go back to focusing on developing a relationship with Frederick, and Frederick can stop sneaking around like the little shifty Brit he has been? I'm wondering if I owe like Frederick an apology, because I really thought he was on some super sinister stuff, not sneaking around Redondo Beach with your mama. I don't know, jury's still out on that. Y'all can tell me in the comment section down below if you think I owe Frederick an apology, because I was on his neck. I enjoyed the moment of Hilary going to Ashley and asking her to be the maid of honor. Ashley, you know that this girl ain't getting married, but go along with it because it's a great gesture. I remember when my sister asked me to be the maid of honor for her, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. This is so amazing. So I feel it. But also, you ain't getting married. I do believe that Hilary loved LaMarcus, but I also feel like Hilary is still running from the characterization that Jazz put at her feet. And she doesn't want to be that girl. So that means that she has to commit in the circumstance that she's in to prove that she's not that girl, when you can shift out of being that girl by accepting that you may have been that girl who was a track star and decide to stop running and go back to Jazz. But that's neither here nor there. I know the man's sick and nobody wants to break up with somebody who's sick, about to lose their career, about to have open heart surgery. I get it. I might be standing in that damn relationship too. You know, I don't fault Hilary at all, but they had a good moment. We see Phil and Vivian back on one accord and doing well this episode. What I'm curious about as it pertains to Phil, though, is like he put in his letter of resignation last episode, and Erica runs up on him while he's with clients and reminds him like, all of your clients revert back to me and to my organization, to my firm. If you decide to do this, you shouldn't do this. And not that I want him working with Erica, but I made the point in my like episode 4 breakdown video, like, Phillip, I get you wanting to stand on business and make a stand because you told a girl not to say nothing, but to me it feels a little bit worse that you can't maintain multiple millions of dollars in business with sharing these clients and figure out a way to work with this woman, i.e. one of your associates actually works with this woman and you just leave because your name is at the top of the damn building, but you decide to get rid of all of your clients all off the strength of like, I told you not to tell my wife. I don't know, something about that just feels off to me. It feels self-sabotaging. It feels self-sacrificial, but in the most narcissistic way. And while I'm guessing that Viv know, I'm wondering, does Viv know that you're literally ethering your business and then now hinging the prosperity and the future of your business on a developer who couldn't give a good goddamn about the residents of South LA, and now they're protesting outside your damn house? Like, Phillip don't be thinking things through, and I think his pride and his ego gets in the way often. But last episode, I was like, okay, I'm finally starting to understand and feel like once he went to a vulnerable place with Vivian, I'm trying to like go with him. I felt like he was actually attractive last episode. So I'm trying not to be on his head too much, but I'm also just like, I think that it's a reach and it's a little bit over dramatic to completely sever ties with Erica's firm. Like, you literally partnered and brokered a deal with their firm, and they have like over 100 locations across the damn world, and you were able to keep your business, not get absorbed, keep, you know, your namesake, but then still get a really large slice of the pie for this very big firm, and you're going to walk away from it because the girl was approached by your wife and told the truth. Yeah, that's not sitting well with me in my spirit. It's not. I'm sorry. It's just not. It seems like you're feeling a little bit overzealous. It feels like you're trying to punish Erica, but then low-key you about to punish your damn self. And you rolling up on Jazz talking about something, it's time for him to bow out, just take the money and start over. That's not how this works. But I guess you won't know that because you don't invest in the community that you came from. You're Bel Air through and through now, so you don't really feel what these residents feel in reference to home, in reference to peace and grounding, in reference to community. Yeah, see, I can't even be on Phillip's side for too long. He got me in episode 5, but then now I'm back because Phillip, you're a mess. A hot mess. And you and Vivian might be cool right now, But all of this, which is all residual for who you actually are, is going to make y'all issues pop back up again. Because you're not right internally, sir. You do things for the wrong reasons. You have the wrong intentions. And yes, you much better with Will. We see you check on him before he goes and meets with his mom and his dad. But the other stuff, you still got tons of work to do with the other stuff. Now going back to Will, his mom and his daddy. He gets his mom here, and we saw last episode he called his mom and said that he needed her in LA, and I love that. After seeing, Carlton experience this step forward with Phil and Vivian, and kind of like having FOMO of that. And of course, Vi comes out. But Vi initially is apprehensive to sit down with Lou because she's been through a lot. And the note that I wrote down is like, Will wants his mother to talk to Lou, and he needs it, but he doesn't realize how much that's going to impact her. And I wasn't really clear in, as it was approaching. I was trying to think back on, was Lou ever abusive to her? Because part of me felt like her reaction and I'm not dealing with him yelling at me, I'm not dealing with him I was like, damn, was he abusive? And damn, if he was abusive, Will is not taking that into consideration. That's a lot for a woman to actually confront and have to go through, whether she wants to show up and support her son or not. But based off of the stories that they told and recounting what their life was like before they break up and before Lou went to jail, it didn't seem like he was abusive. It just seemed like he caught some bad breaks, which sucks because I've been building up this big ass villain story for Lou in my head based off of what they've given us, and come to find out, he basically went to go get the money that was owed to him. It escalated. He got into a fight and then wound up going to jail, and that took him out of his family life, and he's never been able to rebound for real ever since. And then Vi just made it worse and doubling down with the he ain't narrative because she was frustrated, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back with them, not having heat for 5 days. So she just allowed herself to create this propaganda narrative as if his father never loved him. His father was never there for him. When his father's last act, outside, was going after the people who were shorting him and costing his family protection and literally warmth within the shelter. And while I'm frustrated with Vi, I'm very appreciative that they used her and they're telling this particular story, because that is real. I did not grow up with my mom and dad in the same house, and I have experienced both parents talking negatively about the other as I was growing up, and it fucks you up, and it does something to you as a child, and you don't know who to believe, and you don't know what to trust, and sometimes you lean one way and you lean the other way, and you're acting out in accordance to what you've been told, and then to come to find out that it might not be that, and the parent was just projecting their feelings and their frustrations onto you because they didn't know what to do with it. That sucks. And I thought that while it sucks, it's very real, and I'm glad that they put it on screen, which again speaks to what I feel like is this beautiful work of art by way of these episodes and this particular pieces of media in these episodes that create healing conversations. Because I know I can look at this and see damn, I experienced this. I might not experience everything that we'll experience, but I can see, even my past trauma, my past lived experiences, and just have a better objective view on it and be able to put it in a certain perspective that is outside of me, that I don't feel shame or guilt or anything about. And I can actually handle it and unpack it in a way that you can't really do when you're in the thick of it, that you can't really do when one person from one side is trying to make sure that you're on their side. And I just think that that's one of the things that's just so brilliant and so masterful about where we're at with the series this season, because they're they're making the characters have very hard but real conversations, and they're often very real conversations that we shy away from within our communities. And to show them having these conversations is one thing, but then to make it like a work of art, because the way that the people look in the show, the way that they shoot the show, whether it's the framing and composition, it's just working. Y'all, I started this video off and said that I'm in awe. I really am in awe of what Bel Air is doing right now. And I have a sweet spot for dramas that really dig into interpersonal relationships, because that's something that stands out to me in real life. And I really value deep connections and deep conversations, and I really value being able to unpack the things that have hurt you and shaped you negatively, but using that to move you forward positively. And that's what I feel like is happening. Now, last but certainly not least, Carlton and Amira go to an NA meeting after Carlton revealed how their leader talked to him and talked him down after he had the panic attack last episode. And Amira lets on like, oh yeah, we'll go to the meeting. And then she gets there and lets that boy have it and makes him leave. And Amira, to me, is dangerous. While I feel for this girl, I personally, honestly, y'all, this might sound bad, and y'all can tell me in the comment section. Please do. I promise you, I want to know. I feel like she lied about her sister, or she is responsible for her sister's death. But I feel bad for her nonetheless, because it's so clear that she's an addict, and she is nowhere near like having hit rock bottom. Carlton is on the come up. Carlton is really on the recovery journey, and I think that they're doing a beautiful job of showing that. But this girl is still spiraling downward, and she's going to latch onto Carlton and drag his ass with her. The way that I literally was able to immediately point out her points of like triangulation. There's little seeds of like her isolating Carlton and like building this narrative for them of like, it's you and I against the world. And those are tactics of abusive people within relationships. Emotionally abusive, mentally abusive people in relationships convince their partners that nobody else in the world cares about them, that nobody else in the world sees things the way they see things, and that they only have this person. So that when push comes to shove, that person will choose their partner over everybody else, even if their partner is wrong. And then for her to like, one, go off on the little sponsor leader dude, and then when Carlton's trying to check her on it, she's like, "What, you didn't even talk to your parents about us." So she just layers on things that she can use to guilt him and manipulate him to doing the things that she wants, and it takes away from him actually being able to hold her accountable for poor behavior in other areas. And it's like watching it, it's like you can see it's a train wreck in slow-mo. And Carlton, I don't know if Carlton recovers from where we're going. He's okay right now. He's showing up for her right now. But even that, of like her basically coercing him in to feel like he needs to be the protector of her, when she is quite literally the villain in her own damn life. She's the villain of her story. And if y'all don't see it yet, I don't know if y'all got your eyes open wide enough, but baby, I clocked her from the moment that I saw her. And while we wish for people to be able to recover and to do better, Miss Mama's not ready for that. Miss Mama's does not actually want to do better. She kicked up all that dust about not being cool with his family. He decides that he's gonna, have her come over to dinner, and then she's late. And then she's late crying, talking about my sister died, so this is this. Why didn't you tell him that yesterday? If you knew this was the anniversary of your sister's death, why the hell did you tell him yesterday when he said he was going to do this dinner that you kind of like forced him into doing? Amira girl, something is not right with you. You are dangerous, and she is literally going to be the new demise of Carlton. We thought Coke did him bad. Miss Amira is about to turn Carlton every which way but loose, and I hate it for him. Y'all, let me know what you thought about the episode in the comment section down below. Again, kudos to everybody all around. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I cannot wait to unpack it with y'all on live stream. I go live every Friday right now, and it may switch to Thursdays after the family business ends to discuss and give live reactions. Like, I cannot wait to unpack these episodes with y'all. If you miss it and you want to catch the replay of the live stream, check the Bel Air playlist that I have on my channel. You can go to youtube.com/EricaVeanTV, and you'll see all of the videos and the playlist and all of that kind of stuff, and you can check it out. Drop your thoughts, comments, and everything in the comment section down below, because I cannot wait to converse with y'all about this, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.